The West Texas plains stretched endlessly, silent under the relentless sun. To most, it was barren land, impossible to tame. But in 1919, Rupert P. Ricker saw potential. Ricker was a University of Texas graduate, Reagan County lawyer, and World War I veteran who took advantage of a 1917 law that allowed the leasing of state land for oil exploration. He and 4 associates made preliminary applications on 431,360 acres owned by the University of Texas in Reagan, Upton, Irion, and Crockett counties. A filing fee of $43,136 was due the General Land Office in 30 days. Ricker intended to promote the land deal in Fort Worth and sell enough leases to pay the filing fee. But when he found no interest in his land deal as the 30-day deadline neared, he sold his ideas, maps, and preliminary leases for $2,500 to an old Army friend from El Paso, Frank T. Pickrell. Pickrell and his partner, Haymon Krupp, a prosperous El Paso merchant, had no better luck promoting the acreage than had Ricker. Not wanting to lose their investment, but still hoping to promote the leases, Pickrell and Krupp decided to develop the acreage themselves. Krupp borrowed the money to cover the filing fee. He and his New York friends incorporated as Texan Oil and Land Company to raise capital, but the company stock sold too slowly to fund drilling on the acreage. Pickrell then persuaded the board of directors to approve a sales promotion for certificates of interest in a 16-section block of leases called Group Number 1. Investors paid $200 each for a .0004882 interest in the group, and Texan Oil raised more than $100,000 from the promotion and used some of the capital to make rental payments and to buy used drilling equipment. The first oil test on Group Number 1 acreage was called Santa Rita No. 1, named for the saint of the impossible. The well was spudded on January 8, 1921, just before the 30-day deadline. Pickrell, who had no experience in oil, considered himself lucky to have hired an experienced driller, Carl Cromwell, for $15 a day, and stock in the company. Cromwell moved his family to the lonely drilling site beside the tracks of the Orient Railroad. For 646 days, the cable tool rig pounded, and the 2-man crew baled the hole. They averaged only 4.7 feet a day. Late on May 27, 1923, the bit drilled into the dolomitic sands called Big Lime, just above the 3,050-foot level. Cromwell shut down the well when he saw gas bubbles escaping from the casing head. The driller and his tool dresser, D. Laughlin, were convinced they had an oil well and left the site to lease surrounding mineral acreage while the discovery was yet unknown. Early on May 28th, with no further drilling, the Santa Rita roared to life, sprayed oil over the top of the derrick, and covered a 250-yard area around the site. The well attracted the attention of area residents and scouts from major oil companies, and Pickrell eventually enlisted the aid of independent oilman Mike Benedum to test the extent of his field. Benedum's efforts proved that the area was indeed rich in oil, and that Santa Rita No. 1 was just a small beginning for the men who promoted it, for the University of Texas, and for other oil-rich areas of the Permian Basin. In 1940, under the leadership of the Texas State Historical Association, the Santa Rita rig was moved from its original site to the University of Texas campus in Austin. Its presence commemorates a time of transformation for both the University of Texas and Texas A&M University, which shared in the university's land royalties. In 1990, after almost 67 years of production, the Santa Rita No. 1 was finally plugged. Oh, and I know some of you are wondering, did Rupert Ricker make anything out of the Santa Rita deal in the end? No, Rupert Ricker did not get money back directly from the Santa Rita well itself, because he had already sold his leases to Frank Pickrell and his partner, Haymon Krupp, for a flat fee of $2,500 before the well was drilled. While Ricker missed out on the immense wealth generated by the discovery, he continued in the oil business in subsequent years through other partnerships and enterprises.